Let us welcome to Houston's Morning News for the very first time, Texas Governor Rick Perry. Governor Perry, welcome to Houston's Morning News, sir.
Good morning. How's everything in the beautiful city of Houston?
We are doing great. How's everything with you?
Everything's good in my life. We're just down here putting the fear into every other governor in the country that we're going to come snitch some jobs from them. So that's what we do in Texas. That's the reason all these governors were so, they were brokenhearted that I didn't go any further in the presidential race.
Hey.
They wanted to get me off they wanted to get me off their trail of their jobs in their state. So,
I got to say, congratulations. You did very well in Michigan and Arizona on Tuesday. Did you see that?
I didn't. I was back here just kind of doing my day job. So, but it doesn't matter. The fact is, when we made the decision to bow out of this thing and we just didn't see a path forward, and that was what it was. And we pitched our support behind Newt, who it appears is making a third recovery. I mean, he's given a whole new word to or a new meaning to the word resuscitation of a campaign.
Well, Governor Perry, I've got to ask you, what do you think of the rise of Rick Santorum? He looks like the one that's giving Mitt Romney a big run for his money, and as now you're saying maybe Newt Gingrich in the final next couple of weeks can do something and pull something out here.
Yeah, it's the most interesting thing just to watch how this played out. The idea that we were going to have 20-plus debates, no one would have gotten even close to that. And how many front runners we've had? I want to say Mitt's been a front runner maybe 3 or 4 times. Newt's been a front runner twice. Rick Santorum's been a front runner 2 or 3 times. I obviously was once. Michelle Bachmann. I mean, it's just fascinating to watch this. If it wasn't so serious, it would be quite the Broadway production. I guess a comedy would be part of it, just to watch how it's all flopped and flittered around. But the fact is, I certainly hope that Newt is the person who takes the checkered flag at the end of this, because he truly is an individual who knows how to work in Washington, D.C. He is the anti-establishment. I mean, the establishment types are scared to death of Newt Gingrich because they know that they're going to lose their old historic way of doing things, that we can continue to spend the money, we can continue to crank out the programs, and we'll continue to be taken care of and be powerful. And Newt just is not going to operate that way. He's truly going to break up the old cabal between Washington and Wall Street, and these balance the budget. I mean, there are so many things that get talked about, but when you really get down to it, who is going to go up there and save this country from the spending epidemic that is going on, this addiction to spending?
Governor,
and I think Newt's the only one.
Governor, thank you so much for joining us here this morning. If you'd hang on one second, I want to come back. I want to talk a little bit about Texas. I want to talk about your future here as governor in the state of Texas going forward. Governor Rick Perry joining us again. Governor, thank you so much for your time. Houstonians want to know a couple of things, Governor. What do you got planned for the next couple of years, and are you going to run for re-election?
Well, the first one's easier to answer, and it's clear. The issue of what we're going to be doing, and that is just continuing to make Texas the most dynamic state in the nation from an economic development standpoint, continuing to keep the tax burden and regulatory environment plausible from the standpoint of a small businessman or woman being able to risk their capital and have a chance to have a return on their investment. That's what's been driving Texas' economy here for the last 7-8 years in particular. Keeping that going is high on the list of most important things for government, and that's not just the governor, but it's the lieutenant governor and the speaker and the members of the House and the Senate working together. Dan Patrick and I were talking about that just the other day from the standpoint of the issues that are important for not just the Houston area citizen, but all across this country. What's the most important thing that government can do? Keep the taxes low, regulatory climate fair and predictable, a legal system that doesn't allow for oversuing, and then get out of the way and let the private sector do what it does best. And I'm not going to tell you we've been perfect at it, but Texas has been the model for it across this country. And you've seen it reflected in our job growth. You've seen it reflected in #1 exporting state in the nation, the place that these publications like Site Selection Magazine picks as #1 state in the nation to do business in.
Right.
So we've got a good model, but the fact is we got some real challenges, Matt, with the growth that we're having. You've got water, you've got energy, you've got the continual question mark about how we're going to deliver health care in this state with Obamacare hanging out there over the heads of the people of the state. So lots of challenges, but I wouldn't change the economy in Texas, exchange the economy with anybody, any other governor, and most governors would probably admit that. I'd love to have our economy.
I take this you are going to run. You're going to run for come on.
Again, that's the easier part of this is to tell you what I'm going to be doing the next 2.5 years. But I'm healthy, I'm happy, I'm still engaged in what I do. So the idea that I'm going to stand up today and say, "Oh, I'm done. I'm going to ride off into the sunset," I don't think so.
No, I don't.
So, Governor Perry, can I ask you, though, just real briefly as a grade, how would you assess your run for presidency?
Well, the first let's say 60 days, we were probably on scholastic probation. And, the latter parts of the campaign and the debates and what have you. But I think the damage had already been done in the first 60 days from the, Florida debate. Some people say, oh, it was that you forgot the third thing. That was the end of your campaign. Frankly, I don't think so. I think it was in Florida dealing with the issue of immigration. I think that had a bigger impact on people from the standpoint of some folks just couldn't get their arms around. And frankly, I had the wrong answer because
Governor,
I apologize for that.
Listen, we love you. You know that. You are welcome here anytime. You better run for another term, sir, and you're welcome back here at KTRH anytime. God bless you.
We'll do it.
Thank you, sir.
Y'all take care. God bless.